everyone, Britt and Chris Carmichael here, founders of The Elevated Life, where we teach you simple mindset shifts to create radical transformation in your life. Today's topic is how to deal with narcissists. And we're going to share a couple of ways that you know that you're in a relationship with someone who has narcissistic tendencies.
Yeah, and the really big deal here is that if you're an empath or if you're a person with a massively big heart, if you care a lot and things like that, it's very easy to fall victim to these kind of people who are narcissists. And in the end, they drain you, they bring you down, they ruin your beliefs about yourself, they ruin your beliefs about the world, about what's possible, about being lovable, about what your future relationships can be. And so as your self-esteem and all that stuff lowers, your opportunities in life, how you think about everything ends up becoming so diminished that you forget who you are.
Yeah, this is a
very important topic.
This is a very powerful topic, and I just want to know, for all of you who are watching, is this your first time joining us for The Elevated Life? Who are you? Where are you from? And do you identify with this topic? Are you already someone who's like, I need this message right now because I'm kind of stuck in a one-sided relationship?
Yeah, so one of the biggest deals where you can find narcissists, one of the biggest things about them is the fact that they're self-centered and that their needs are the most important. And they have no remorse for the mistakes that they make, and they begin to project their faults onto you. They start to play this blame game to where you can't even feel like you ever do anything right. No matter what happens, they end up mad at you.
Yeah, this is such a dangerous zone to be in. So we're going to share the one thing that you can do on how to deal with narcissists at the end of this video. But like I said, we want to dive into the different nuances that these type of people project out into the world. And we've been doing a lot of studying on this topic because it seems like with nowadays social media, there's so many more people with this type of personality disorder. And we need to talk about that really quick, that this is not a mental illness. This is not a chemical imbalance in the brain. This is a protection shield. This is a personality that they've created to help them block out the pain that they were experiencing from a young childhood.
Yeah, normally narcissists, like Britt said, it comes from a really heavy lack of self-esteem as a child. A lot of times they may have extremely...
Needed this a year ago.
Yeah.
Better late than never, right?
Yeah, they typically have huge self-esteem issues as kids, and so they build this mental filter and a way of looking at life that protects them so much so they can never be wrong, and it'll always be someone else's fault. And then they project that forward into adulthood. A lot of times, narcissism is very difficult to diagnose, to say, hey, this person is a narcissist, because their personas are so good. They're excellent manipulators. So when they walk into a room, these people can be super charismatic. It's not like the psychopath that you think about, or the weird person in the van, trying to get kids to come up there with candy. It's not those kind of people. These people can be leaders. These people can be super successful in business. They can be wealthy. They can say all the right words. And all of those things are used to manipulate others, to get them closer to them, and then just dump on them once they've got them there.
Yeah, so some of the ways that you can identify if you're in a relationship with a narcissist is that they're self-centered and their needs are most important. They always put themselves first, and anytime that you express that you need some kind of love or healing or nurturing, it gets flipped. The story gets changed. Well, I don't get that. What about me? And they never actually give you that attention and that care that you need.
Yeah, Diana brings up a really important part here. She says they only act narcissistic towards the person they're in a relationship with. This is really true.
Yeah, it's a great mask that they learn to wear.
And what ends up happening is that once you confront them, or once you bring things up when you're around other people, it makes you look crazy. And so this starts talking about gaslighting, where you start to question your own beliefs, and you stop trusting in your abilities because all of your friends are like, well, they're not that way. They're really fun. What are you talking about? You need to just let that go. And so it builds on this really big victim abuser mentality, and it's so overwhelming. And if you've ever been in that relationship, go get help. Like, go get something to where you realize that you are lovable, you realize that you do matter, you realize that you do have a place in this world, because after being with those people for a long time, the way the mind works is that it's built on repetition. Our minds are built on that. So if you're around a person who all the time says, hey, you're amazing, like, you're going to do really great things in the world, even if you have low self-esteem, you start believing that. But the opposite is true too. So if someone says, you're not worth anything, no one will ever hire you, no one will ever love you after me, no one will ever care about you the way I do, you start believing those same things too. So it's massively important. If you've ever been like this and you've hit that huge self-esteem block, start working on that, because you do matter. You are important. You are lovable. You can do great things in the world. It's just become some screwed up person from their childhood has come through and done things to you. Doesn't mean that that's going to be the next case. That doesn't mean you have to attract that in your next relationship. You can still go out and do amazing and beautiful things in your life.
Yeah. Another way to identify if you're in a relationship with a narcissist is that they have no remorse for their mistakes. And the second that you call them out on it, they project their faults and blames onto you, onto other people. They divert the conversation immediately.
Yeah,
Preach it, brother.
Yeah, one of the things you'll notice is they rationalize so easily. So anytime you bring something up about them, they'll get angry right back at you and deflect and change the subject or spin the conversation. Again, like we said before, they're incredible conversationalists and super charismatic. So when you confront them, they're so good with words and they'll spin those words around. And suddenly you're thinking, oh my gosh, is this my fault?
Yeah, Diana's saying that one week they'll say you're amazing and then the next week they want nothing to do with you. And that is a part of their manipulative power.
Yeah, this is actually called fractionation. Fractionation is a conversational technique where you take someone through extremely high highs that oh my God, you are the best. You are the greatest light in this world. And then all of a sudden it spins and it's the lowest form. You suck. You're nothing but a piece of crap. No wonder you can't do this. No wonder you failed all your life. You're lucky to even have me in your life. So they take you through that high and then that low and then that high and then that low. And it breaks down. Your mental faculties actually start to break down. This is emotional warfare. I mean, this is a person who is dead set on brainwashing you. It's so serious. I feel so bad for all the people that have had to deal with this in their life.
Yeah, Anne says, and when I say relationship, I don't just mean a love relationship. It can be your parent, most likely your parent too. Anne says this isn't just romantic partnerships. I was raised by one, and my sister became one too. It's not easy to break the cycle, but it is possible. I know that it is possible because I'm sitting next to one right now.
Yeah, it's very possible. But
who has broken the cycle? Let me just rephrase.
you have to get into a place where you block out other people's beliefs about you. And it's very difficult to do when the people are close to you. Like Britt said, this can be in any kind of relationship, work relationship, friends, family. Anytime you're in a relationship with another person, this can happen.
Yeah.
And at work it happens a lot because they put themselves in a position of power and then demean you and demean you and demean you until there's just nothing left. You just lack a personality, and you have to get into a place where you become so mentally strong that it doesn't matter anymore. And you have to just be in that space where you can look at yourself and you say, hey, I am truly worthy. No matter what anyone else says to me, no matter what anyone else says about me, I'm beautiful, I'm wonderful, I can do this. And you have to continuously repeat that, because if you don't, you'll downward spiral, and it is a horrible, horrible place to be in.
Maeve says, ooh, are we talking about narcissists? It's
a
clear freaking sign when you're talking about this type of personality. And I'm seeing a pattern here with all of you beautiful souls that have been attracted into that narcissistic relationship because, remember this guys, because you are so loving and so caring and so empathic that you pick up on other people and you want to help them. They look for you. They look for people just like you. So it's important to recognize that you are so loving and so caring and you're here to do great things and help people, but you can't help this type of personality disorder because, just like Diana said, her husband's mom is worse than her ex-husband was because they're learning it from someone before them, right? So this is a learned pattern behavior that is being learned from parent to child, and then that person becomes a parent and does it to their child because that's all they know. And it's until that person decides to break the cycle, which I have hope that it is possible, but something crazy is going to happen to break those patterns and ways of belief. Yeah,
here's the important part, is that you cannot fix people. You cannot help them. You cannot do any of those things.
No, Anne says you guys have helped me on my hard days.
No. I'm talking about narcissists.
Yeah.
You can't fix them. And as people, when we love, we try and give so much. Our brain gets overloaded with wonderful chemicals when we're in love. That's why a lot of times the honeymoon phase is so amazing. And then you wake up late and you're like, holy smokes, this person's just batshit crazy. And it comes from a part, you can't fix them. I know we want to hold on, especially when we love them, and we're like, look, I'll just endure. I'm tough enough. I can deal with this. I will just endure. And this brings one of the greatest stories I've heard is about frogs. You know, if you put a frog in boiling water, they will automatically jump out of the water, right? They're like, oh my gosh, it's boiling water. I'm gonna get out. If you put a frog in lukewarm water and then slowly turn the temperature up over time, they will stay in the water until they die. And it's so true when you see people in narcissistic relationships. It's they're the frog with the water slowly getting turned up and turned up and turned up until they haven't even realized how bad it's become. So you have to realize, if you're a people pleaser, you're a doormat to these narcissists. So you have to get out. You have to get out of that type of, I'm going to heal them. I'm going to fix them. They can change. They can't, because they don't see it as a problem. Again, this is a whole personality built around this one thing. And so when that happens, there's no way for you to help them because they can't see it. And if a person doesn't want help, they won't accept it because you'll have to change their whole personality, and that won't work. That will make them crazy.
Yeah, Maeve says 27 years, almost 3 decades, never changed him. He only became more of a monster. This is so important for you empaths and healers. Yeah, we love you, Maeve. You're fucking awesome, by the way. All of you are fucking awesome, by the way. So if you've ever been in a relationship with a parent, a lover, or anyone who's ever torn you down, just walk away and surround yourself, like Maeve says, with inspiring coaches or friends or family that does support and love you, because you have those people in your life that want you to shine and want you to succeed. So don't let your life be based on one shitty relationship with one person. Let them go down in flames, but have the courage to free yourself and walk away. And that leads us to the one thing that you can do to deal with narcissists. It's walk away. It's get out. It's leave. It's don't think back, because when they start to miss you, when you finally start to reclaim your personal power and you finally build up that freedom and courage to say, you know what, F this, I'm sick of being treated like this, I don't deserve this, they start to miss you because they haven't replaced you yet. And they need someone, they need someone to constantly put their power and exert their power over someone.
Yeah, so what ends up happening in these relationships is it builds codependency, because they will be the abuser and you will be the victim. And it starts to be this massive, oh, look, that divorce was filed last week. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Jennifer. Listen, I want to just say this. I'm so excited. So many of you women that are watching right now, reach out to each other. Look at the names that are popping up in these comments and reach out and say, hey, babe, I love you. I'm here to support you, because all of you are in this together.
Whoa. It's so true. And it's so important to realize, again, that these people cannot change. It is a built-in personality. It's not a chemical imbalance. It's not something you can solve with drugs. And it's not something that you can point out to them. It's just going to frustrate them. They won't get it. So you have to start freeing yourself. Like Britt said, the best thing you can do is walk away. Look, toxic people don't belong in your life. If you haven't come to that conclusion, you don't deserve them. You don't need them. You deserve great people in your life that will build you up. When you have a real loving relationship, it's unconditional love. It's not, well, if you do exactly what I want you to do, then it'll be okay for me. You know, it's not that. It's about like, oh my gosh, I appreciate you. I care about you. I love what you're doing in your life. I love that you're going after your dreams. If the person in your life's not building you up and you lay down next to them at night, you need to have a long, hard conversation with them, and you need to have a long, hard conversation with yourself and make it happen. Like, you will literally go straight off the cliff if you continue on that kind of path. Get away from these people. That doesn't mean you can't love them. You know, give your love, but it does mean you need to get away.
Laura says, it sounds so easy. Doing it is so hard. Laura, what is so hard is living in a relationship like that, where you can't feel loved, where you can't feel supported, where you can't feel free to express yourself. To me, that's the hard part. Leaving is easy, guys. Leaving is just saying, you know what? I know that there's something better for me. And if this is the best that life has to offer, that to me is hard. That to me is the hard part.
It's amazing how so many people have dealt with this. Yeah, apparently this is way more common than I even thought. I'm so sorry to hear about you guys. Reading all your comments, I mean, it's heart-wrenching.
You guys
for me
are like, I feel like I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, I just want to give everybody a big group hug and say,
group
hey,
hug!
I know, everybody lean in, big group hug.
Oh my gosh.
Look, life is a great place to be. These people just had really bad situations in their life, and they're just carrying it over to you. get rid of these people, move on, and feel better. It is
You're
hard.
doing them a favor. You're actually loving them and supporting them in such a way that when you walk away from that relationship, it might, for just 1 second, be that spark or that change that causes them to think about how they're treating themselves and each other and the life that they're choosing to live. Maybe you walking away is that perfect antidote of love that they've been needing, and you think by staying around that that's going to fix them. 27 years, 11 years. How many of you are how long do you have to wait until you realize that this isn't going to work? Don't wait 27 years.
Yeah.
Just go now. And when you do that, you are showing yourself that love and the support that you're hoping to get out of that relationship. And the love and support that narcissists offer you is completely conditional. It's based on if you're doing what they want you to be doing. And the second that you take that away, the second you stop doing what they want you to do, they pull their love away, and that's when all the crazy starts coming at you.
Yeah, so get in that space. Get in a beautiful space. Take up meditation. Take up positive psychology.
Come hang out with us.
Hang out with us. Come find us. Be in a space. Get around people who love and appreciate you. If you haven't had that a while in your life, that should be thing number one. Get around people who care about you. Start building up that confidence again. Start feeling good about yourself again. Feeling good about relationships. Good about the world around you. Because it can feel like there's just black cloud that's always sitting over you all the time. And life's not like that. There are wonderful people in the world. There are great things that are happening. And you have to get around people who are doing those things so you start to believe in life again. Once you start to believe in life again, you'll start to believe in yourself again. And once you build that up, you're able to share your gifts with the world. Because if you're with one of these people and they're constantly demeaning you, this is going to be super hard to go after your dreams. It's going to be super hard to ask for a promotion. It's going to be super hard to wake up and get out of bed in the morning and feel good about life. So you have
hard to accept a compliment.
Yeah, hard to accept a compliment because you feel like you don't deserve it. And, so many people constantly just berate us with all this negativity. And it makes us feel like everything's going to be that way forever. So many people don't get in their next relationship because the last one was a bad one. The best thing you can do with a bad relationship is walk away. The second best thing you can do is get in a relationship with someone who will absolutely love and cherish you. But that will never happen if you cannot love and cherish yourself. So it's really important once you get away from these people is to start doing your own self-care. Make self-care massively important for you and get around great friends. Get around people who love and support you.
Yeah, that's exactly why I created my private Facebook group, Shine Tribe Sisterhood, so that women had a space to go to and heal. And you know what? It's not just women that are with narcissist men. It's also narcissist women as well. So there are both sides of the coin. So don't just think that it's a man because so many women are here talking about it. It can be either way. But either way, I've created a sacred space for you guys to come and to heal and to feel loved and supported. So if you're not in Shine Tribe Sisterhood, check out BrittneyCarmichael.com/join to sign up for this amazing sisterhood. And I know so many of you guys are already there, so I appreciate all of the love and support that you guys share.
One other thing is that, let's say you're not in a narcissist relationship. Let's say that that's not for you. But a lot of people have narcissist parents. And if you grew up in an alcoholic environment where the people were just massive alcoholics, and as a kid, you had to be the parent, this is that same kind of a thing. Because as a child, you lack the level of maturity that it takes to parent. That's why parenting comes later in life. And so if you were the sole responsibility for your family was on you as a kid, it's very easy to develop the mentality that I'm not good enough because you'll never be able to fix your parents. It just won't happen. And so you've got to get into a space where as an adult now, you realize that that was something that happened and you have to let all of that go and move forward. Drop the past, forgive them. If you had a narcissist in your life, but you haven't forgiven them, they're still with you. That's still the victim abuser mentality. You have to forgive them. That has to be part of the healing process that you go to. So let that go. One other thing I want to point out.
What's the next step for someone to heal? I just want to share something like practical because Anne said she spent 2 decades after leaving that narcissistic relationship still taking the actions as if she were bound by that energy.
Yeah, the best way that you can do this, like I said, getting around great people, there's something called the chameleon effect in psychology. And chameleon effect means that we imitate the behaviors and the moods of the people that we're around. So if you've been around a narcissist, the chameleon effect is right there. So you'll keep in that same thing because you've practiced it so much. So how do you forgive them? Julie asked, how do you forgive them?
recognize that they learned this behavior from, look at their childhood and look at their parents and have that spiritual elevated perspective and compassion to go, you know what, you're hurting really, really bad. And that's why you're hurting other people. That's how I have learned to forgive people that just seem sometimes unforgivable, is recognize how bad they're hurting and that they're just doing it because that's their only response and mechanism, and they don't know any other way to get love or to feel love, and you just feel sorry for them. That's how you forgive them.
Yeah, the big deal here, especially with any kind of narcissist, is to realize that it's not about you. You were just the person that filled a role for them, and so it's really important to detach yourself personally. They're not attacking you. Yeah. You're just that person that was there.
You're in the way.
You're just the punching bag that happened to show up as they walk by, but you did it out of love. So much of this stuff happens out of love, and it's really important to get to a space where you realize that this is not about you at all and has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. Yeah. And so when you stop taking it so personally, the forgiveness becomes so much easier because you realize that, like, oh my gosh, it wasn't me. It wasn't me at all. Mm-hmm. And so doing that can help you push past that. And a lot of it, like Britt said, it's learned behavior. They learned it from their parents, who learned it from their parents, who learned it from their parents. And it's just continued. So if this is something that you've dealt with your parents, if this is something you've dealt in a relationship, you've got to really strong check yourself and say, am I spreading this same crap to my kids and to my significant other? Let this moment be that change. Look at yourself and say, am I doing these same behaviors? If you notice that you're loving and appreciating people, you're exactly on point. That's exactly where you want to be. But if you're not, if everyone owes you something, if you feel constantly misunderstood in life and those kind of things, it's really important to take a look and say, maybe I'm doing some of these things and maybe I need to change some of my behaviors in a different way. Maybe I do need to start unconditionally loving and figuring out how that works for me.
Katie asks, what do you do when you work with a narcissist? You get a new job. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Katie, we talked about this, and really it's just keep your distance, give love, smile, be that higher elevated person that is offering the love, and just be mindful of walking away and not walking into a room with just that person, Make sure that you're always surrounded with other people when because if you're in a one-on-one situation, then that's when shit gets crazy because they feel they have power. But when there are multiple people in the room, they know that they're being watched by other people and they can't manipulate all people in the room. Diana says, I've read that when faced with difficult childhood challenges or abuse, people tend to go one of two ways. They either become the narcissistic or the complete opposite, empathic and altruistic. Like I said, you're witnessing someone who has chosen to break the cycle, guys. So everyone feel loved and supported by Chris Carmichael? Yes, right? Say, I feel the love and support. Maeve says it's easier as an empathic to feel sorry for them. It's very hard to detach from them instead of trying to fix them. That's where I think the coaching elements and mantras come in.
All right, let's talk about them. We're gonna do some quick. We'll go.
Hold on, I want to read all these questions. How do I keep? Hi, Misty.
What's up, Misty?
Woo woo! So good to see you. How do I keep my ex, who is like this, from teaching our son these behaviors, and when they are around them as much as I am?
Yeah, the biggest deal is to just teach the other way. It's to just constantly fill them with love and approval and acceptance and those kinds of things, and let them know that they are meaningful, that they matter in life, and those. You do that. You don't always have to say it. You do that with your actions. You show it to them. So you say, you show them support when they have a problem. You help them out, especially as kids, and they're looking for love and approval. You don't make yourself out to be the victim. You just continuously push forward and let them know, like, hey, you're going to do great things. Everything's going to be good. You just keep your head up and keep moving forward. Yeah, absolutely. This has been such a powerful conversation, and I appreciate all of your input, your questions. Your story matters. Your overcoming, your courage, your fear. I am so proud of each and every one of you. Man, I don't even have words right now. Normally I'm just like, I got it. But right now, all I have is just so much love in my heart, and I'm sending it out your way, knowing that you've been through some difficult times, and you've probably
doubted yourself and second guessed yourself. But I'm here to tell you, we're here to tell you right now that all of that fear, all of that doubt, all of that unworthiness can be melted away right now. You can choose to have the courage and to walk away, and you can choose to release the past and know that just because you were in a relationship with someone who wasn't loving and supportive doesn't mean that you're not loved and supported. So if you want to elevate your life, if you're ready to walk away and live on that next level of spiritual growth and healing and love, then I highly recommend you guys come hang out with us inside the Elevated Life Monthly Membership Club. We love joining you live every Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time here for free for the Elevated Life series. But what we love even more is hanging out with you guys inside the membership club. We love offering our insight, our support, our guidance. You get access to coaches right here inside the club. So if you're interested in taking your life to the next level, and the July topic will be busting money myths. So if you feel like, oh, I don't have the money to buy it, then you can't afford to miss this. Spend your $47, access the club, get the training, plus all of the last 6 months of training on how to overcome fear, how to overcome sexual shame, how to set yourself up for success, how to transition to a plant-based diet. We cover all kinds of topics from success to spirituality inside the club. It's risk-free to join. You can cancel at any time. And when you join, you get all of our content. So you could literally join for one day and spend all those hours watching the content and leave if you feel like it's not the right place for you. But if you're here watching and this resonates with you, I know that you guys will find so much value inside our club because we offer so much more information, support, and resources to help you move through these healing transformations in your life.
Yeah, and the big deal here too, I'm going to leave you with one last tip. If you've had these kind of people in your life, here's exactly what I want you to do. For the people who stayed with us the whole time, we appreciate you guys. Do this. Close your eyes, and I want you to imagine that person in your life. Imagine them right in front of you. Use your whole imagination and turn those colors up bright and let them be that like just negative influence in your life. See that big picture, and what I want you to do is I want you to drain that picture of color completely. I want you to make that picture black and white, and then I want you to make the picture as small as you possibly can, like a postage stamp, and then I want you to send it off into the distance where you can't even see it or make them out anymore or understand what's going on anymore. They're just like a fuzzy black and white picture that's so far in the distance they're insignificant. And as you start to change those things in your mind, you'll notice they'll start to change those feelings in your body. So work on that. Have a great weekend. If you're not in those kind of relationships, fantastic for you. Hey, get out there and love and support people who are in those kinds of relationships and let them know, hey, I'm a friend. I'm here for you. If you need anything, I'm available. Yeah,
if you know someone that's hurting, reach out and send them love today. Be the bigger person. Be the loving, spiritually mature, elevated soul here on earth and spread more love and more light, because that is ultimately what we're here to do. And once we heal these past pains, that's when we can fully step into our light work. That's when we can fully step into our purpose of living and experiencing joy and love and peace from moment to moment, because it is possible, guys.
Woo. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for joining us on this very powerful conversation. If you know someone who needs this message, tag them below or share this video on your page. We appreciate the good karma and the love and support. Thank you for being here. And if you want to elevate your life, make sure you join the Elevated Life Monthly Membership Club so you can catch this month's topic on how to bust through money myths by going to brittneycarmichael.com/membership. And we hope to see you guys inside the club. And once you join, you'll be automatically added to our private Facebook group where we can continue these conversations and help to support you through this growth. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate and love each and every one of you. We will see you guys next Friday here on the Elevated Life series at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Hey, I just realized we go at 11 a.m. and both of our life path number is 11.
I love it.
Because we're here to elevate the world, guys. Hope
bang,
you
bang.
are on this train with us. We love you, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.